Hello? Hello? Hello?
Judith, we can hear.
Yeah, you can hear, you can see.
Yes,
you can
yes,
see.
I can see also. It is clear.
Oh, okay. So you let me know when I should start.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Hello? Oh dear. Okay.
Dr. Sunny, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, can we start? I think all have attended.
Okay. Judith, we can start.
Judith,
Judith, please unmute your
Your-
microphone.
just mute.
I am audible.
Yes, clear.
It is audible.
Thank you. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and a warm welcome to everyone as we approach the culmination of the fruitful discussions and sessions we had during the International Indian Ocean Science Congress Conference 2022. This conference is being co-hosted by the National Institute of Oceanography, Goa, National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, Goa, the Goa University, and the Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, Hyderabad, India. I'm Dr. Judith Gonsalves, Senior Principal Scientist from the National Institute of Oceanography. Am I delighted to anchor this valedictory session and wish you all a happy Holi, the festival of colors. Even though we could not meet physically due to the pandemic, these 5 days from the 14th to the 18th March have given an opportunity to listen and interact with researchers working on different facets of the Indian Ocean. And we hope that the identification of knowledge gaps will pave a way forward to address issues for a clean, healthy, and a resilient ocean. As we gather here in the virtual format to conclude this Ocean Science Conference, I would like to first invite Professor Sunil Kumar Singh, Director, CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography, India, and the Chairman, Local Organizing Committee, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Judith. At the outset, I would like to wish all the participants a very happy Holi, the festival of colors, which are being celebrated today in India. Respected Dr. Vladimir Rabinin, IIOSC Executive Secretary and Vice Chair, ISPC, Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary, MOES and Chair, ISPC, Dr. T. Srinivasa Kumar, Chair, IIOSC and Director in Quas and Convener, ISPC, Dr. Mirza Javed Beg, Director, NCPOR Goa, India and Vice Chairman, LOC, Dr. Harilal B. Menon, Vice Chancellor, Goa University, India and Member LOC, and Dr. Anish Lotlikar, in Quas and Member LOC, all the panelists, the participants of International Indian Ocean Science Conference 2022, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you to the valedictory function of the IIOSC 2022. It marks the end of 5-day intense deliberation on the issues pertaining to the Indian Ocean. All the 5 days were full of exciting talks and posters. Though this meeting was arranged in virtual mode, it was well attended and quite successful. Certainly, we missed your physical presence, but with pandemic uncertainty, this was the best what we could do. We had altogether 14 sessions in this meeting with several talks and posters. The meeting started on 14th of March 2022 with inaugural session and plenary discussion on blue economy and sustainable development. Plenary session on second day, that is on 15th March 22, was on monsoon and climate variability, which brought out many new results and features pertaining to the monsoon system and climate change environment. The third day was marked with plenary session and panel discussion on biogeochemistry and ecology, discussing about various important aspects of biogeochemistry of the Indian Ocean. And on the fourth day, plenary discussion and panel discussion was on ocean value chain observation to services. Today, the last day, in just concluding plenary session, we had wonderful discussion on burning issues related to Indian Ocean and how to tackle them. I'm very much hopeful that these deliberations will shape the science of Indian Ocean and will help planning the future prospects. I congratulate all the participants for a successful meeting and hope this will open new avenues for large-scale collaborative project in the Indian Ocean. Thank you very much once again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving us a holistic view of the conference. We have Professor Harilal Menon, the Vice Chancellor, Goa University, India, and a member of the local organizing committee. I invite Professor Menon to address us with his views on the conference. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Judith. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Dr. Vladimir Rybanin, Executive Secretary, IIOSC and Vice Chair, ISPC. Dr. Ravichandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences and Chair, ISPC. Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh, Director, NIO and Chair, LOC. Dr. C. Srinivas Kumar, Director, INCOIS. Dr. Mirza Beg, Director, NCPR. Dr. Anish Lodlikar, Member, LOC. All my colleagues joined from across the globe, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. It's indeed a pleasure to be addressing this August gathering of eminent scholars and policymakers. I'm so sorry not to have been able to follow your discussions over the past 2 days on what must rank as one of the most interesting contemporary issues facing the international ocean science community. I commend Ministry of Earth Sciences for taking a leading role in organizing this topical and exceptionally relevant conference. Therefore, I extend my heartiest congratulations and felicitations to Ministry of Earth Sciences and all those who were active in organizing this 5-day International Indian Ocean Science Conference, thereby bringing an enlightened discussion on various issues concerning the Indian Ocean. I consider this as a privilege to speak my mind on the occasion of Valedictory session at this important and timely international conference on the International Indian Ocean Science. The event reflects the growing realization that we have to adapt to the changing regional ocean, to global environment, and prepare ourselves well to meet emerging threats and challenges. As you have deliberated over the past few days, there is a paradigm shift taking place in the nature of global climate. Having gone through the content of each session, I can confidently say that the aim of this seminar, this conference, to comprehensively examine the factors influencing the changing nature of Indian Ocean, so as to arrive at a clear perspective about its emerging contours, has been achieved. I'm sure the conference has made a major contribution to enhance the understanding of various facets of Indian Ocean, which is very clear from the various sessions, which starts from contribution to sustainable development toward UN Decade of Ocean Science, to coastline estuarine process, vagaries of monsoon, and finally ending with extreme events and its impacts. This is very pertinent, and as we have seen that Arabian Sea is warming up and frequency of cyclones is increasing as year passes by, which was never heard prior to a decade. This clearly reveals another important aspect of capacity development. When I say capacity building or capacity development, we have to keep 3 components in our mind. That is capacity to generate in situ data adopting well-defined protocols, both spatial and time series, capacity to retrieve geophysical products from satellite data, which involves algorithm, validation, etc. And finally, capacity to carry out mathematical modeling. To achieve these, more educational institutions must offer, the courses on ocean sciences, probably on a 4+1 structure with a comprehensive curriculum, which is uniform across the country. And among the 4 years program, research has to be an integral component. Such an approach will certainly address the requirement of trained manpower for advancing our understanding of Indian Ocean. I'm so glad to be acquainted with the LOC of the conference, and I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity. And finally, with these few words, I thank MOES for giving this opportunity to share my views on this important subject. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Menon, for your thoughts. It has definitely been an inspiring conference in these challenging times. I now request Dr. Mirza Javed Beg, Director, National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, India, and Vice Chairman of the local organizing committee, to share with us some closing remarks. With that, I give you the floor, sir.
Pujita, Dr. Beg has not joined. You can proceed with other person.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm pleased to invite Dr. Srinivas Kumar, Chair of the Global Ocean Observing System in the Indian Ocean and Director, Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, and the convener of the International Symposium Planning Committee, to address our AUSC delegates. Dr. Srinivas Kumar, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Judith. Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh, Director NIO, Professor Harlal Menon, Vice Chancellor of Goa University, Dr. Mirza Javed Beg, our colleague, Director of NCPOR, Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary MOES, who is unfortunately unable to participate today, but he sends his regards to the meeting, and Dr. Vladimir Rybinin, Executive Secretary, IOC, Anish, and my other colleagues. A very good afternoon, good evening to all of you, and thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak in this valedictory session. So I would actually like to start by thanking all of you for being part of this exciting conference. All the members of the local organizing committee, the national organizing committee, the international scientific planning committee, and everybody out there, all the participants, the chairs, co-chairs of all the technical sessions, who have helped us in really reviewing all the abstracts and then conducting the sessions, the moderators and speakers in the panel discussions, starting right from day one until just before this valedictory session, we had the final panel. I would like to first start by thanking all of you. This event of this humongous magnitude would not have been possible with all your support, starting right from the planning. In fact, the planning started in 2018, I guess. So I would like to even extend my thanks to all those colleagues who were part of this planning when we initially wanted to do this conference in 2020. So we couldn't host you in Goa, so unfortunately, but that's how things are currently. But I think in these circumstances, we all of us together did what best is possible. And looking at all the 14 sessions, technical sessions over the past 5 days, the discussions have been so rich. The outcomes from the IOE2, the activities that have been taking place under the umbrella of all these regional bodies working in the Indian Ocean region, be it International Indian Ocean Expedition 2, or the IOGOOS, or IOC Indio, Cyber, IRF, IORP, all the the collegial kind of activities that have been taking place in the Indian Ocean under all these bodies, and of course under the auspices of the IOC. So those results have been presented in these 14 sessions, and the outcomes have been really encouraging. And then we now have a way forward from the panel discussions that we've had earlier today. Thanks, Vladimir, for chairing an excellent session. And then I think we have a clear way forward. As I actually also mentioned in my opening remarks, on 14th when we were starting the conference, this was actually designed as a platform, and thanks to the ISPC and the NOC and LOC, we wanted this to be a platform for scientists working on different facets of the Indian Ocean to really present their ideas, discuss their results, and then identify gaps and way forward. And I think that we have actually all achieved together. And then we now know how we want to move forward, what are the gap areas, what we want to improve, and then how clearly the IIOE2 and all these bodies working in the Indian Ocean region, they have been contributing to the activities that, towards the Ocean Decade, and then we have, a path ahead. So we can, certainly work on those actions and then move ahead and contribute towards the decade. I'd also like to thank all of you on behalf of Dr. Ravichandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, and he has been a pillar of real support, and then my colleagues in the Ministry of Earth Sciences who have actually supported us with all the logistics required to actually organize this session. So I would like to thank all of you once again. And then I'm sure the outcomes of these sessions will be taken forward into the next week. We are having back-to-back meetings of the IIOE2 steering group. We have meetings of the IORP, Cyber, SOLAS, as well as the IOGUS. So we will, I'm sure the leaders of all these groups will take forward the outcomes and then have deliberations on how these things can be incorporated. Some of these actions can be incorporated into their work plans. So I wish you all good luck with those meetings next week. Thank you very much, and I hand over the floor back to Judith.
Thank you very much, sir. As you said, this conference in the post-pandemic era has set the tone for the global community to look as to how we can move forward in ocean science for a sustainable future. I'm now delighted to invite Dr. Vladimir Rabin, who is the Executive Secretary of the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO, the Assistant Director General of UNESCO, and also the Vice Chair of the International Symposium Planning Committee, to deliver your address. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Julie. I would like, first of all, to thank all people who are listening to us now, because it has been a marathon, 5 days. And I would like to recognize our dear colleagues, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh, Professor Menon, Dr. Mirza Javed Beg, my dear friend Srinivas Kumar, Dr. Ravichandran, and also this would have been very difficult without Anish Lotliker, who really was the cornerstone of that work. So, like in the United Nations, we say all courtesies observed. And indeed, as Srinivas mentioned, I remember our hot discussions in 2018, even hotter discussions, whether we should move forward with the in presential session in 2020. But, then, of course, COVID explained to us what what it means. And now we have it at this conference. Some people call it virtual conference, but it is not virtual. It is online. It is a real conference, but online. In that sense, it was conducted by virtual means. With that, I would like to thank the International Science Program Committee, National Committee, and local organizing committee. It is, we conduct so many meetings, and, always this is like a gamble, So there is always a little problem somewhere, but, I think in 5 days, I think he was very, very successful. So how I see this conference, I see as a review science that is pertinent to the Indian Ocean. At the time when we are now accelerating the work on the decade of ocean science, and also at the time when we are moving forward towards sustainable ocean planning and activities. And I think the presentations there sets the scene for that. We know now much better what we know about the Indian Ocean, and even we know what we don't. We understand what could be the next steps. We have a platform for moving forward, and the next call for dedicated actions will be focusing on the food from the ocean and also from our ocean economy. And I think that we also have been able to get addition to the group of thinkers about the ocean through the help of this conference, because the talks were excellent, and we see how many wonderful brains work around the Indian Ocean. So we would like to engage them. Once again, I would like to invite interested parties, interested persons to join the Decade Forum, to register, join the communities of action, communities of practice. We also are creating a roster of Decade experts. And this is a very important job, because, you know, this will, I think, participation in that work will also enrich your experience with and will help you to everyone who is participating to achieve new heights in understanding the complexity of the ocean and also in possibilities. So I would like to say that we are moving towards the Earth system science. I am actually amazed at the Indian government that was a long time ago so visionary to create a Minister of Earth Sciences. Nobody else on the planet did it. And we have fantastic people leading this ministry, fantastic thinkers. And in the Ministry of Earth Sciences, indeed, there is, well, you know, like in the world, there is there are centers for oceanography, oceanographic services. There is a Polar Research Institute, you know, there's meteorological and many other departments. So that is how the science should really work. The science should be strong in conveying the message about the state of the planet and also conveying possible solutions. With that, I would like to thank Moez. I would like to thank Dr. Ravichandran for, you know, actually, I can imagine how difficult and busy is the life of the Secretary of MOIS, but, you know, he was with us almost at all times, as long as he could. So I think we now have a much better situation in the sense that we know what we can do. We know who can do that, and we can move forward towards implementation of Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development in the Indian Ocean. I would like also to say that we are now very seriously working on increasing the level of the IIOSC regional committee for the central part of the Indian Ocean, designing or co-designing this to become a subcommission for the Indian Ocean. It will have to work with also Africa. It has to work with the eastern part of the continent, which is called Western Pacific. So I think we are creating a system that will be bringing together governments and scientists towards managing the ocean sustainably, and that is what is really happening. So, you know, to me, you know, it is also symbolic that you're going to celebrate the Festival of Lights soon, and that was an enlightening conference in that sense. So for me, it was lightening that festival to some extent. So thank you very much. You know, and always I realized that when we start something that which seems difficult, almost impossible, we just do it, and it happens. And in the result, we have some successes, we have some results, but also we have a group of people who started this and then became friends. This is how IIOSC works. So with that, thank you very much, dear friends, for having done what you have done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for reflecting many points of view. Yes, it's important to structure science in a better way and also to leverage the collective intelligence in order to distill the key action that can be implemented for the sustainable development in this ocean science decade. I now give the floor to Dr. Anish Lotlikar of the Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services and member of the local organizing committee to deliver the vote of thanks. Dr. Anish, please.
Thank you, Judith. So respected dignitaries, Dr. Vladimir, IOC Executive Secretary, Co-Chair of IIOE2 and Vice Chair of International Scientific Planning Committee, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singh, Director, CSR NIO, and also Chairman of Local Organizing Committee, Dr. T. Srinivas Kumar, Chair of IOGUS and Director INCOIS, and Convener of ISPC, Professor Hilal B. Menon, Vice Chancellor of Goa University, and I also see other senior scientists in the meeting, like Dr. Shailesh Naik, Professor Sulochana Gadgil, Dr. Harman, Dr. Brigade Gay, and all others who are present here for this valedictory session of IIOSC 2022. On behalf of Local Organizing Committee, it gives me an immense pleasure to thank all the people who made this event a very great success. As you are well aware that IIOSC was originally scheduled during 2020 and its planning was started much before that. And since then, lots of people have immensely contributed from its inception till execution and completion. It may not be possible to mention all individuals due to lack of time, and hence kindly accept my sincere apology in case if I miss someone. The conference also witnessed several leadership changes at various levels from institute director to secretary. However, the constant support from old and new leaders was the reason for this successful event. And I sincerely thank the leaders who made this event successful. We were very much fortunate to have curtain raiser by Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of State of MOES, Minister for State of Science and Technology, Minister of State in Prime Minister's Office. Although he could not be present physically, he was kind enough to send a recorded video message. Thank you, sir, for your encouragement and valuable time. Dr. M. Ravichandran, Chairman of National Organizing Committee and also Secretary of Ministry of Earth Sciences, has provided a constant support and guidance to organize this event. He was there right from the beginning as a director of National Center for Polar and Ocean Research till he assumed the charge as a secretary to the Government of India Ministry of Earth Sciences. Thank you, sir. We are very fortunate to have with us Dr. Vladimir throughout the conference, and I sincerely appreciate his valuable time and the energy which he has given during this conference. My thanks and appreciation to the conference host, the Director INCOIS, Dr. T. Srinivas Kumar, Director NIO, Dr. Sunil Singh, Director of NCPR, Dr. Mirza Javed Beg, and Vice Chancellor of Goa University, Professor Menon. One of the unique events during the conference was the panel discussion, where the plenary speakers acted as a panelist and discussed the challenges and outcomes of the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and subsequently the contribution of IIOE2 towards Ocean Decade. A big thank you to all the moderators of the session and also the keynote speakers and the panelists who immensely contributed in this discussion. My sincere thanks to all the co-chairs of all the technical sessions for evaluation of the abstract and seamlessly conducting the technical sessions by overcoming the difficulties arises due to difference in the time zone. The National Organizing Committee and International Scientific Planning Committee were the guiding pillars, and the local organizing committee would not be able to materialize this conference without their guidance and constant support. A big thank you to chairs, co-chairs, conveners, and all the members of the National Organizing Committee and International Scientific Planning Committee. In the same breath, we had a workshop organized for the early career scientists. And I sincerely thank the people who were involved in organizing this, Dr. Nimit Kumar from INCOIS and Dr. Arvind Singh PRL and so on. I would like to thank the administrative, purchase and account section of all the host institutes for their timely support. And the support provided by MONIS was tremendous. And my sincere appreciation to all the officials involved in this. I also thank the officials of Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Home Affairs for obtaining the timely approvals to conduct this conference. My sincere appreciation to the members of the local organizing committee, technical coordinators, and colleagues at INCOIS, NIO, and NCPOR for burning the midnight oil with a single point agenda, that is, make the IIOSC 2022 a grand success. They managed the conference platform sessions by overcoming all the technical glitches. This vote of thanks will be incomplete without acknowledging the contribution from the participants. So last but not the least, my thanks and appreciation to all the participants who presented their valuable research during the conference. Finally, of all this would have not been possible without generous monetary support from our sponsors, Ministry of Earth Sciences, and other MOS institutes like ANSYS, IITM, NIOT, and our private industry partners like C-Space, Pan India, ABS Systems, and Indomer. I would also like to thank State Bank of India for integrating the payment gateway with the conference platform. Thank you everyone for taking the time to be here today and for listening to my speech. Once again, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Dr. Anish, for bestowing gratitude on those who made this event possible and a success. Once again, a huge thank you to everyone. It is hoped that these deliberations will strengthen and create a momentum to meet the objectives of the Ocean Science Decade. Thanks very much for your time and have a good evening and a good day. Wish you all a safe, healthy, and restful weekend. Bye all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.